Hello all you headbangers and heshes out there, and welcome to Metal at the Movies. I'm your host Dirtbag, and today we've got a film based on true events. The Catch? It's a Mark Wahlberg. Okay, here's the abridged version. There's this guy named Tim Ripper Owens, and he fronted a tribute band to the great Judas Priest. Rob Halford, frontman of Priest, decided to part ways with the rest of the band, and they got Ripper to replace the metal gods. It's every fan's dream. And when all that dream came true, somebody in Hollywood decided, let's produce a movie out of it and turn it into a romantic comedy drama. You know, a dramedy. Because the word Kamada sounds too much like a band name. Dev, patent that shit. We could be onto a winner there.
You got it, boss. I'll get right on it.
Is right, lad. Oh, sorry, that's just Dev the Devil. He's one of these, obligatory, zany side characters these internet shows tend to have. Don't worry, he mostly stays behind the scenes and edits my videos. No wonder they're so shit. But I digress. The movie opens with... Oh god, movie, I didn't need to see Marky Mark's bare chest! My eyes! The glasses do nothing! So as it turns out, Chris, played by Marky Mark, and just to get out of the way, yes, I am in fact calling him Marky Mark throughout this review. Mainly because one of the working titles for this film was Metal Gods, and for someone who started out in a group subtitled The Funky Bunch, well, you got another thing coming. But yeah, Marky Mark is your atypical metal fan of the 1980s. Still living with his parents. He gets ready for a concert in what I hope is a homage to Wayne's World to see his favourite band, Steel Dragon. Ah, shit! Last time I did a movie review, I ended up talking about dragons for like 30 minutes. And let's face it, who wants to hear a Scouser talk? Like, in general. He meets up with his girlfriend and band manager Emily, played by Jennifer Aniston. They hand out flyers for their tribute band's Blood Pollution in the car park before the gig. Hey, wait a minute, go back a bit. George Clooney put money towards this? Yeah, maybe he's a Priest fan. So anyway, at the concert...
I wrote this next song for someone who ripped out my heart. And put it through a flying blender! Yeah, that's right. This one's for Kim, who makes me want to stand up and shout.
I don't know about you, but heavy metal gigs tend to be pretty damn loud. The look on that guy's face alone just screams, how the bloody hell did I hear that? Also, is that scarf a shout out to Aerosmith? Anyway, Marky Mark spots Steel Dragon's road manager, played by Timothy Spalls, handing out backstage passes. He goes to score a pass, but...
Think maybe I could have one of those?
Not without a blowjob and a sex change, pal. But have a nice day.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I thought I was watching a romantic dramedy, not Marky Mark and the Angry Inch. Dev, patent that shit! So after the gig, Blood Pollution find out there's another Steel Dragon tribute band, Black Babylon, removing their flyers. This causes both bands to size each other up.
Well, if it isn't Yoko Ono and Bag 5.
What do you think you're doing?
Making sure nobody gets scammed into seeing some cut-rate copy band.
Cut-rate copy band? This dude can't even tune his own guitar.
Yeah, and you could always use a little work on your lip sync.
I don't lip sync, asshole.
You'd be doing everyone a favor if you did, ass burn.
You could at least get the outfit right. I mean, your boots are from the Wasted Tour, and this is just like a cheap imitation of the Twisted jacket.
Oh my good Jesus Christ, can someone please throw a punch? If I wanted grown men in spandex trash-talking each other, I'd watch WWE. The fight finally heats up when Marky Mark defends Emily and a really wimpy fight breaks out. The next day, Marky Mark has breakfast with his family, and when you know it, his older brother is breaking his balls over his rock star fantasies.
Can't we all agree it's just a little bit twisted that you're still living at home and stealing Ma's makeup?
Who the hell's bearing Grinch to him?
I mean, Christ, Dad, how much longer are you gonna put up with this bullshit?
That's what I thought.
Isn't a rock star fantasy thing something you're supposed to grow out of, like, around 14?
Oh, maybe if I get really lucky, I'll get to grow up and listen to Air Supply and wear jackboots. Like you.
What's wrong with Air Supply?
Christ, he's like my brother. Douchebag.
From the Village People.
Good one. You know what the sickest thing is about you, little man? The sickest thing about you is that you don't have any fantasies of your own. You fantasize about being somebody else, wearing somebody else's clothes, singing somebody else's songs. It's pathetic.
He makes a fine point, but I can't take him seriously as he admitted to liking Air Supply. Anyway, Marky Mark goes to work, meets up with Emily at choir practice, and we get this bit of fuckery. Well, if I was dating Jennifer Aniston, I'd say the same thing. We then cut to, oh my god movie, why? Why couldn't it be Jennifer Aniston's nipple instead? In fact, I'm censoring that shit! And you know what? I'm blabbing on too much. Let's kick this into overdrive. You'll thank me later. Blood Pollution have a gig at a steel mill. The guitarist, Rob, fucks about. Marky Mark's a perfectionist and wants to sound just like Steel Dragon. A fight breaks out. The next day, Marky Mark's out of the band and throws a hissy fit. Now it's been half an hour or so our first act is coming to a close. So that means the plot trains are coming in the form of a phone call by Steel Dragon's guitarist, Kirk Cuddy, played by Dominic West. Anyway, Kirk tells Marky Mark that he wants him to audition for the band, and Marky Mark, in true fanboy fashion, is starstruck. Marky Mark and Emily fly out to LA and meet up with Tanya, a PA/groupie of Steel Dragon, who, I'm pretty sure fills the quota for awkward humour in this movie.
Where's your breast?
I'm sorry, what?
Your breasts. Aren't they yours?
Love, are those your real lips? Oh my god, who cares? Anyway, sexist jokes aside, they arrive at Kirk's mansion and are shown to the home studio.
Hey, man. Hey, thanks for coming. Not too fagged out, are you? No, I don't think so. Did Matt's the road manager? Hey, yeah. I saw you in Pittsburgh. You gave everybody a backstage pass but me.
Yeah, from the looks of you, I had good reason, right?
Oh, that sharp British wit. If this part wasn't played by Timothy Spalls, I'm pretty sure it would have gone to Jim Broadbent.
The incredible voice on the tape really belongs to you. No, that'd be you, Bobby. You think you can bring in some child to replace me, do you? You want to do your own thing. We're going to let you go. Tell me what you're doing here. You're firing me.
Look, calm down, Bobby.
You calm down, you wanker. It's because I'm gay, isn't it? You're gay? No. I got both my nipples pierced, bought a house in Morocco because I'm John fucking Wayne. Have you ever listened to the lyrics of stand-up, Did you really think that Kim was a girl? Kim was a guy? Yeah, Kim was a guy. He also happens to be my lover, much to the horror of these closeted sausage jockeys. Bobby, as if we give a toss who you're buggering.
Whatever, Bob. Just keep your dick away from me, though.
That guy, played by Zach Wilde, I don't know if he's acting or just being natural. Now, I can't say if this really did happen behind the scenes in the Judas Priest camp, but Bobby Beers has a diva moment in all true rock stardom and gives a bit of advice to Marky Mark.
You think you can dress up like me and be a rock star?
No, sir.
No, sir. You have no idea what it takes. What? You think it's all sex, drugs, and rock and roll, do you, huh? Well, you got the sex wrong, didn't you? Drugs, I never touch them. No one does a gig like I do a gig half-cut. Not even at your age. And it's bed, 11:30, every night before a gig. That's what it takes. Why don't you just do your own thing? Get your own life. It's like being bloody Elvis.
Except Elvis was the king.
And I'm just the queen.
Movie, I'm the reviewer here. I'm supposed to be the one making the cheap jokes. After Bobby bails, Marky Mark does his audition, and before I continue, no, that's not Marky Mark singing, but I'll give credit towards his lip syncing. So anyway, Marky Mark gets the gig. And you know what this means? Cocaine and bitches galore! Anyway, back to the movie, and at a live press conference, Marky Mark's old bandmates see he's hit the big time.
Can you hit all the same notes that Bobby Beers can hit?
That's why I'm in the band.
Sorry about that, I went for a tea break. Where were we again? And when you know it, Marky Mark's first gig seems to go down really well, up until... Ooh! Nasty! Well, Marky Mark picks himself up and carries on. And I have to say, this scene right here has all the great hallmarks of 80s metal. Strong, groovy main riffs, pounding drums, and it looks like everybody's rocking out. Despite Dominic West not even playing his guitar. Look, in this shot, one of his strings is broken. So after the gig, the band go to a nightclub to celebrate Marky Mark officially joining the band. And we see Matt and Emily having a chinwag where Matt tries to comfort her about going into the rockstar lifestyle.
You can have a good time as well, you know. It's allowed. Anything you want, just have to ask.
Okay.
So yeah, Matt's the road manager. Pretty much a British pimp. So... slimy, but with a touch of class. Alright, Frankie goes to Hollywood. If we're lucky, we might hear some Echo and the Bunnymen, or maybe even some early Anathema. Anyway, we see Tanya and Marky Mark having their own little talk.
Good, I'm great.
Tell me something. How does it feel to know that everyone in here wants to fuck you?
Are you serious?
Yeah. I can't stop touching you. I can't keep my hands to myself. You know you've turned me into a silly little groupie.
Okay, I know for a fact there's at least one woman in every rock scene like that. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've dated a few. Luckily, Emily steps in and puts an end to that fuckery, only for Tanya to turn their night into a funky blur of girl on Marky Mark action. This is pretty much the movie showcasing the decadence of 1980s rock stardom. And I do love myself some decadence. But the next morning, Emily and Marky Mark got themselves a bang-over, and as Mark makes his way to... Is Tanya peeing standing up? Well, I neglected to use the nightmare clip before, but if there's ever a time for... It's a trap! It's now! And as Marky Mark and Emily make their way to their room, they decide not to speak of their infidelities. But this pretty much sets the mood for the rest of the movie, as it starts to show the cracks beginning to form in Chris and Emily's relationship. And as the bands begin to set out on tour, it turns out only the band members are allowed on the tour bus, as they'll get distracted by their wives and girlfriends.
Who are they?
Oh, that's Kirk's astrologer, and that's his physical therapist.
Yeah. Seems legit. So Emily is in the girlfriend/wife's limo and has given some advice on being a rock star's significant other.
Hey, look, I know it's crazy, but it comes with the territory. And I mean, you can either drive yourself batty trying to change it, or you can simply adapt.
You gotta let him off the leash for a bit of a romp every once in a while.
Otherwise they get a little cranky, you know. Besides, at the end of the day, they always come home. And who's to say that you can't have your own fun?
After a brief montage detailing tour dates and interviews, Emily confronts Marky Mark about leaving the road tour. It's a touching scene, I'll give it that, and they decide to hook up in Seattle when the band goes through there. But as Emily takes her leave, Marky Mark sees AC, played by Jason Bonham, hooked up to a dialysis machine. Yeah, I know I was supporting decadence a moment ago, but this is the price one must pay. Except Keith Richards, but we all know he's dead inside. But Marky Mark has given some advice of the utmost male machismo on how to just let it all go and enjoy the rock star lifestyle. And when you know it, we're given the most metal part of the movie. Hey, Zach Wilde's acting isn't all that bad. That was a pretty good impression of Ted Nugent. After the most metal montage ever, we come to see Emily visiting the band at their hotel. She goes through an awkward moment while in the lift with groupies. Honest to Odin, the jokes in this movie are hit or miss. This one, definitely a miss. Fit birds though. I haven't seen babes the like of these since Airheads. After that, Emily gets past security and meets with Marky Mark, who... he done forgot they were meeting up and was caught wasted. Oh, I know I've been there. No wonder I'm single. Now up to this point, Chris and Emily have been portrayed as a loving and supporting couple, but this scene just sticks out to me. I'm not sure if it's Jennifer Aniston is just throwing it in at this point. Then again, it could be Marky Mark looking more confused than he did at the end of Planet of the Apes. And don't get me wrong, Jennifer Aniston and Mark Wahlberg are decent actors, but here, I don't know, the movie just pretty much shits the bed around here. Either way, Emily leaves Chris and we fade to black. And 6 months later, Marky Mark meets up with the rest of the band in the studio, and he's been busy writing songs of his own to share with the band. But as it turns out, the band just want to use Marky Mark as a singer for hire. Hell, this is made even more clear when Jigsaw gives him a stern talking to.
Listen, our fans, right, our loyal, die-hard fans, our very lifeblood, if you will, expect to see certain things, all right? And we like to give them what they want. And we don't deviate from that because one disappointed fan can quickly turn to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, and on like that until the next thing you know, we're playing to a half-empty hall. And our lost sheep are off enjoying the rock stylings of, say, Rat.
Jeez, and I thought I was condescending. And I make a joke about that shirt, but you're not in that part of YouTube. At least, not yet.
There's a hunger burning way down deep in my soul. I'm on a roll, I'm on fire. Insane is the name of my game. I'm like a runaway train riding through your door. It's up cause it's up and I'm rough. I'm on a murder mile that I'm stalking, baby. I'm ready to rumble, not afraid of the jungle, and I'm ready to roar.
Yeah, if I had to sing lyrics that cheesy, I'd head to the pub as well. With everything laid bare to Marky Mark, he has a heart-to-heart with Matt, and, if I have to be honest, this makes up for the earlier scene with Emily. Really, I think it comes down to the performance of Timothy Spores as he tells Marky Mark the story of his first wife and how he left her for the road. It's actually pretty touching, but it still follows the romantic dramedy formula. Quick transition to the next Steel Dragon gig, and everything seems to be going well until Marky Mark hears an over-enthusiastic fan sing over him. As it turns out, the band lets the fan come on stage to perform, and... Back to Marky Mark, and wouldn't you know it...
What's your name, bro? My name's Mike. All my friends call me Thor. Got a thunder!
You know the rest of this
yeah,
one, Thor?
I know them all, dude. I know everything. I know all your moves. I've studied you, dude. I love you.
What do you say? You want to go rip the roof off this place or what?
Are you serious?
Yep.
Yeah!
Yeah, man, get out there. Let's go, get out there, bro. It's all yours.
And with that, Marky Mark makes his leave, reunites with his former bandmates, and forms a new band of his own, instead of someone else's. And lo and behold, Emily goes to one of their gigs. And what kind of gig, you ask? Well, they're in Seattle.
Most were big and good for goodness sake, but you wouldn't pants.
It's like they skipped grunge and went straight to post-grunge. How do you get from Judas Priest to Creed? But I digress. Marky Mark and Emily meet up and through the power of staring, make up and get back together. Gag me with a fucking spoon, lad. So that was Rockstar, and with the 18 to 24 minutes of joking aside, what did I really think of it? To me, it's a very flawed film. While there are good things here and there, there's a lot of lost potential. The comedy's very hit or miss, but if you're a music fan, you might get a joke or two. Also, the mood of the movie is very schizophrenic. We'll have rock and roll decadence one scene, and then a warning of such destructive lifestyle the next. But here's a few interesting facts about the movie. Jason Bonham, Jeff Pilson and Zach Wilde play parts in Steel Dragon, as well as a few other rock stars, namely Miles Kennedy, who gets a cameo, and Luchenko Melkubel, I cannot even begin to pronounce that name, provided the vocals every time you see Marky Mark perform. And with that, my friends, I'm sick of the sound of my own voice. But I hope all you headbangers and heshes out there enjoys my Metal Maniac ravings. Like, comment and subscribe. Until then, I'm Dirtbag and you've been watching Metal at the Movies. Keep it metal. Hey everybody, if you've made it this far, thanks for watching. I'd like to apologise for all the sound and lighting mistakes. This episode was a bugger to produce. But if you were to be so kind to watch some of my other videos, feel free to check out the rest of my channel, as well as going over to peanutbutterdisaster.com, where you can find all my other videos as well. You can find other producers over there such as Faceless Critic, who reviews current cinema releases and also does Let's Plays. And there's also Kira Kennedy, the hipster ninja, where he reviews movies, and also his other show, Lost in Stereo, where he talks about music. Just like me! Just not metal. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Until next time, I'm Dirtbag, and I want you to keep it metal.
Peanut butter disaster.